Welcome to Gemstone Podcast. My name is Lance Parker. I got Shy and Zack with me today. We're excited about today's episode. Remember to go on our Spotify Anchor platform to follow our page, go to our Instagram and follow our IG account, and go to our Facebook page and follow our page as well to keep up to date with all the new and latest news that we have concerning our podcast platform. Now let's get into some topics. First thing, we just had a great election. Well, I ain't gonna say a great election. We just had an election, period. And America had something to say. I'm just gonna just read off some numbers because I did some research concerning, what took place in the aftermath. When it comes to the House, the Republicans won. There was 209 votes versus 218. Republicans won. When it comes to the Senate, it was 47 and I think 50. So therefore, the Republicans won the Senate too. So the Republicans got the House, and they have the Senate. And we have Donald J. Trump as the president of the United States once again. Convicted felon, by the way, because he was convicted in court. Just recently, he did announce Elon Musk will be a part of the Department of Government Efficiency, Dodge. Now, some people may not know what Dodge is. Dodge is what they call a federal structure that streamlines governance by cutting regulations, reducing waste, and advising on key reform. So they are considered the advisory council of the president, and the president is the chair. He's the co-chair. Now, what's very interesting is who else is a part of this committee. It is Zack Ramsey. He's an entrepreneur of a biotechnology finance company, and he also founded Robin Sciences, a pharmaceutical company. Now, what's interesting about that is that pharmaceutical company was sued multiple times in 2022 by various individuals of the various companies due to its adverse effects to the COVID-19 pandemic of the medication it produced. Now, I just read an article recently, y'all, about how on Health Affairs, if you want to keep up with anything up to date in healthcare, always go to Health Affairs. They are a scholarly publication, news platform, and they keep you up to date with the most informed best practice articles to date. Now, they published an article for the month of November about how the Supreme Court makes decisions surrounding pharmaceutical companies, but don't have the education to make informed decisions. That's not make that make sense. These trials go to the Supreme Court, and they said the individuals on the Supreme Court who make these decisions don't have the education to make an informed decision concerning these cases. That was written. And they also put that they would like for these judges in the Supreme Court judges to take some type of informed classes to gain more knowledge surrounding pharmaceuticals or biomechanical sciences or just biotech, period. They would like that, but that's in conversation and has not been discussed. Now, that was a lot to say. I just want to give some facts. I did some research about some things, and I want to discuss it with you guys. Now, how do you guys feel about the election? We've been talking about politics on our podcast since kind of we started. We started off with Kim Og with her ratchet behind. She was putting people in jail for the wrong reason. And now we're here at the presidency, and also our House and our U.S. Senate. So my question to both of you guys, Shy and Zack, how do you guys feel about this? What's your takes on this? And even some of the things I just mentioned, what do you guys have to say?
I think it's going to be insane for the next 4 years. We're going to see things that we've been predicting, and we unfortunately predicted Donald Trump was going to win. I mean, it's hard to lose the presidency when you get shot. It's hard to lose when you beat a RICO case. I have no words for what's going to happen. I have no words for the presidency. I mean, it was good to see a black woman running as a president, or at least having the opportunity to see a black person try to get it again. But I just don't think she had a good enough time frame to get into race to do enough for herself and for the Democrats. I think a lot of people didn't show up for the Democrat to vote for the popular, but even with the popular vote. I don't think we had enough in the electoral votes to even get her in the door if we really wanted her to be there in the first place. Um, yeah, I'm just in I don't know. I'm still in, I guess you can say, shock about it. I mean, I don't know what's about to happen for the next year. I know all these rules and Project 25. If any of that's possibly to be true, we got a rude awakening what's coming for us in America. And there's a lot of people that are friends of mine that are foreigners that are not probably going to be here too much longer that couldn't go vote to change their lives. So it's gonna be real funny to see how it goes right now.
I would agree. I like that we had a female, a minority. I'm not gonna say black. I'm gonna say a minority run for office that was a female descent. I thought that was amazing. And I do feel like she kind of got thrown to the wolves because she came in so late. And she really didn't get to answer the questions in which a lot of people had questions about, like Border Patrol. She had her answers about when it comes to Roe versus Wade, when it comes to abortion. She had a great, great, great comeback for that. But for a lot of other questions, she didn't really have much to say. She really just enticed Trump. She got him all riled up. But the thing is, when he's riled up, he's entertaining and people like it. I'm not gonna say I like it. I don't at all. But I think it's kind of odd because you see how our country answers this question.
I think I'm gonna say this for it too, though, LP. Since I'll take that spot. The reason why he has opportunity to win, or he not win, the reason why he did win is because he speaks the truth of what a majority of America feels and thinks. However radical, however out of line that could be, a majority of America loves what he says, and wants to live that life that he lives, and wants to do what he's preaching right now. And if that don't scare you, I don't know what do.
And what I find super interesting, and I really want people to understand this. I want people to really look because I think I said this way back when. I said way back in March that Trump was going to be our president again. Early this year in March. Or yeah, I did way back in March. I said that. I mean, you guys had a private conversation. Um, I went to a particular event and overheard some conversations, and that would lead me to believe this was going to take place. I want people to pay attention to what's taking place, though. I mean, the president, that's a great role for the country, but the Senate and the House are two main contributors to policy reform in our country. The Senate and the House, two main contributors. And now we add Elon Musk and this Bayek guy who are multi-billionaires. And we got to think, was this election truly about policy reform or was it about money? Because we know our country's in economic struggle. We're in an economic deficit right now. And you put two individuals who have the financial backing to potentially pull the country out of a debt based off the products in which they make. Elon Musk is killing the game. And Bayek is doing what he does with his pharmaceutical company. And he has several different partnerships with other companies. I ain't gonna say their names, but they have several different partnerships as well. I have said this 100 times over. The only way we as a federal republic, because we are a federal republic, can make some change is we got to pull away from the red and blue. They have made so many decisions for over a centuries and centuries that it's time for change. But the only way we're gonna have change is we have to put some different color seats. And I'm not talking about the color of people. I mean the color of parties in these U.S. Senate seats, in these U.S. House seats, and then we will see some change. Because what's about to come, I don't think it's gonna be catastrophic, but I definitely think we're about to see what we've seen when we were younger. Remember when we saw movies when we were younger and we saw like Back to the Future, or I forgot the other movie where they had like the futuristic trains and robots like our robot and all that. That's about to come to fruition with this buffoons because they're going to try their best to cut costs and to cut out American people to recuperate what's been spent. That's what it's all about. And I kept saying that it's all about money. It ain't about politics. And Trump is the person who has been involved with money since the beginning. When he first took over office, who was going over to China and cutting deals? He was. Although we already had deals, but he was cutting better deals. So this all about money. And I don't even know how many of these Republicans or these politicians pockets are in alignment with big companies like Vanguard and BlackRock, who control the world's money. That's like we're getting so a lot of things are being exposed in this election, but people ain't paying attention. And I just I just kind of want to sit back and see how it play out. I'm nervous how it's all gonna play out, but I definitely just want to sit back and see how it plays out.
Honestly, the outcome of the election, I really don't have any opinion of at this current moment. Because I am one of those people that feel like this election is not over with yet. So for me, the outcome of the election is a sticky note on the refrigerator. Like we are far from over when it comes to this election. So I want to get into a few things about just overall the state that we're in right now. In 1920, women gained rights, right? The right to vote, the right to choose, the right to pretty much do everything that we have now. Now, the rights movement was not designed for African American women like myself. It was designed for white women, and this is a point that we know it wasn't for us. And we actually didn't gain these rights until the civil rights movement. However, the women's rights movement did eventually aid in the progression of all women. Um, so as far as everything that we've witnessed, in 1920, women gained the rights to vote. And it's a shame that now in 2024, our rights are on the verge of being revoked. So to uplift and give my sincere thank you to those who stood on the battle lines for us. Thank you for thinking of your children. Thank you for thinking of women. Thank you for thinking of your grandparents, your parents, yourself. Thank you for choosing what's right over misogyny, over racism, over bigotry. Thank you for thinking of all of our LGBTQI brothers and sisters. Trans rights are women's rights, and we all deeply are affected by misogyny. Thank you for the 72% of Black men who voted for Kamala Harris. Thank you, Black men. It was a large percent of you that stood on business behind us, who supported us. We see you, we love you, we honor you, we thank you. Um, so as I said, that's my thank yous. Now this election was a show, right? This whole race was a show. And as we're seeing now, Project 25, it's coming to fruition. Everything that he said that he didn't know anything about him to do nothing about, he has made several videos. The orange tangerine, the tangerine, Commander Tangerine has made several videos over the last week. He's not even the president yet, but he's made several videos over the last week appointing people, and this person's going to do this person's going to do that, all these things, right? So I really hope that all have had a chance to look into Project 25 and see how it affects you, and affects your families. So I hope I hope all are happy about what's to come, including reparations for white people. Because if you guys didn't, that video about racism towards white people and how that was reparations for white people. Even though black people have yet to get any reparations in America, the fight is not over. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of work to do. There's a movement right now called the 4B movement, and this movement started in Korea in the 2010s, and it is a radical feminist movement. So I encourage all women who listen to this podcast to look into the 4B movement. See if you have any chapters in your area, and if you don't, start a chapter. Be the person to start one. The Black Panthers didn't start because anyone was afraid. The women's women's rights movement didn't start because anyone was afraid. So we cannot be afraid in times like this. Like I said, the fight is not over for our liberty and our rights. So join a movement, whether it's 4B, whether it's any feminist organization that you may have, or start one. I'm looking into starting one as well. We still have Black Lives Matter that is active in different areas. NAACP is active. We have 100 Black women organization that is very active. We have a lot of Greek organizations that are very active. So I implore you to join these organizations because the fight is not over. We have just begun. One thing I do want to point out is DEI no longer being illegal. Basically, DEI being illegal basically means any employer or anything like that can discriminate against you for the color of your skin or for your gender, your economic status, several things. They could discriminate against you for being gay or straight. All these things that we're getting ready to lose. Hell, they could discriminate against you for being overweight. All these things that they have been discriminated against, but now it's going to be legal. I have someone I know right now who was an accountant at a one of the major oil and gas company out here in Houston. And because of DEI, she actually sued the company and was awarded a lot of money, a couple $100,000. And she has not worked since then. It's been about 2 years ago. So, DIE no longer being enforced. I hope you guys are happy with that. I hope you guys are happy with that. My last points here to women, all women, no matter what color or age or where you're in life, to my trans women, to my teens, to my young girls, I see you, I hear you, I salute you, and we are going to get through this. This is not a time for us to be weak, but this is a time for us to stand strong. We must band together. We must take notes from different areas of the world. Like New Zealand. New Zealand did a major protest against their government today. And it was led by a woman, by the way. Take notes from these other countries and these other places that are standing tall. This is not a time for us to be weak. This is a time for us to stand tall and fight for our rights. And like I said, no matter your color your skin, your age, your socioeconomic background, it does not matter. Whether you a cisgender woman or you a transgender woman, we all must stand together because we're fighting for all women's rights. All women's rights. So those of you who did not stand on business behind us, with us, to those of you who have been against us, may the ancestors deal with you accordingly. Let me say it again. To those of you who didn't stand on business with us, and to those of you who are against us, may the ancestors handle you accordingly. The spiritual world is not happy with the outcome of things. And a lot of people have been working overtime. Now I know out there a lot of us are not spiritualists or believe in spiritual things, but I'm thinking to the ones that do and the ones that are divinely guided and the ones that are in tune with things beyond the surface of this world. Things will shift. Things will start to shift. We've already seen that. In New Zealand, did y'all not see? I encourage you to look up that video in New Zealand of those people protesting against their government. They did a chant. They were invoking their ancestors. And if you know like I know, the ancestors are going to stand on business behind us. So I'm going to wrap it up at that. Again, thank you to the 72% of Black men that stood on business behind us. Thank you. Thank you to the small percentage of Latino men that stood on business behind us, and I'm talking about us as in all women. And thank you to the small percentage of white men who stood on business behind us. And shout out to all the white women that did vote Democrat, that did vote for Kamala. I know you guys are selling these bracelets, these blue bracelets. Thank you to y'all. Thank you to all of y'all who picked what's right over race. Because a lot of times white women, they would give up their own freedoms to go with their race. And we see that. I understand that. But I thank you to those of you who picked what's right over your race and over over your privilege. We thank you. So that's what I gotta say about the election.
So one thing, everyone has a right to vote. I mean, not everyone, but those who did the vote, they have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for. And so some voted for Trump, some voted for Kamala, some voted for others. They have that right. Now, I don't think it came down to, this is me personally, I don't think it came down to supporting a woman or supporting a man. I don't see it that way. I could be wrong, but I don't see it that way. I mean, Kamala's a strong candidate, and Trump's a strong candidate. I didn't vote for neither one. I'll be honest with you. I didn't vote for Kamala or Trump. I don't believe that a person who should spearhead the White House office, they should possess a terminal degree. That's in my opinion. That's my own opinion as an American citizen. Because they preach about the 2%, the 1% in the world in the population. Well, someone who possesses that is in that percentile. So why not have our leader possess that? That's my thought process. Because that individual then has an informed mind, has an educated mind. They can conduct research, do analyzation, and make highly informed decisions. That's just me. And a lot of politicians are nothing but lawyers, and lawyers use jargon, and sometimes that jargon is a twofold meaning. And you work in HR, Shy, you know that. If someone comes in and says, I'm gonna resign under constructive discharge, they're saying, well, I'm resigning because I don't feel supported. I feel like this environment is hostile. I feel like my supervisor don't support me. They're saying that organization has done everything negative to them and created some type of cynicism towards them. So they resign under that. But a lot of lawyers use that jargon, which is what we have in our political world. Trump's not a lawyer, by no means. He's just a person who was blessed to have money, and he has friends in very very high places. I mentioned two companies, Vanguard, BlackRock, who controls the world's money. I mean the world, not just America, the entire world. And I'm pretty sure he's connected with them some type of way. Uh, but I don't feel like uh it came down to women being not supported. I just think some people just disliked her stance on some things. And we have to be honest, our country right now, when it comes to border policy, which she was very flaky on, is a severe topic. It's a very severe topic. We have a lot of individuals in our country that uh, are not quote unquote USA citizens or American citizens. They get our benefits, they get SNAP, they get Medicaid, Medicare. We have government agencies that assist them with getting insurance, but we have our own low income, underserved communities with American citizens who are underprivileged that cannot even get that. Then you also have these rebel gangs that are coming from foreign countries, like the Venezuela gang, the other cartels, not even the Mexican, the Hispanic cartels. There's other cartels as well from other countries that have come over here, and they have already started doing what they doing in different portions of our country. And she did not touch on that, and I think a lot of Americans noticed that because anytime it came down to border policy, all she kept saying was Trump denied this. We don't care about what Trump did. We know what he did. That fool he went to trial and got convicted. They want to know what you gonna do. And she never answered that question. And plus, he was already associated with a weak administration. Biden administration didn't do nothing.
So have you ever met a Venezuelan gang member?
I haven't personally, but I know several mayors. I ain't gonna say no counties or no names that have made me pretty aware of what it looks like and what to look for. And I live in East Texas, by the way.
Do you know any illegal immigrants?
Yes, several. I work for a federal qualified health center. They specialize in helping illegal immigrants get health care and get insurance.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't really have a question or answer kind of topic like I normally do. I just wanted to take my time to just thank those that stood on business behind us. Because I do feel like it was about women and it was about Black women especially because they're so heavily threatened by Black women. It was about Black women. It was about educated Black women because she is those two things. She's a Black woman and
And
she's
black.
highly educated. It was also about her being a woman. It was also about her being a first generation American. It was also about her being. It was several things, but it was all down packed into misogyny. Misogyny was the core of everything. And there was a lot of people that just simply did not support her just because she was Black. I mean, just because she's a woman. And so, like I said, it's really time for us to mobilize as women. It's time for us to start, holding more seat. It's time for us to, it's really time for us to band together because we've been shown this past election how they really feel about us. And since now that we have this knowledge, which it was plain as day, I mean, come on. But like I said, all women, Black, white, indigenous, Hispanic, all my trans women, all everybody, anybody with a platform, I encourage you. Let's come together. It's a lot of things that we can do if we mobilize. And yeah, and shout out to her too, because I wasn't even gonna talk about Kamala on this segment at all. But since we bring her up, shout out to her. Shout out to her for being the most qualified presidential candidate in history. Shout out to her for being the only candidate in history to ever worked in each department of justice. Shout out to her for being just shout out to her for running a great campaign in 107 days. That was not enough time, but she did what she could. Shout out to her for being shout out to her for just dedicating for shout out to her for being a true patriot. Shout out to her for dedicating her life. I mean, she's 60 years old and she's dedicated the last 40 years of her life to democracy,
Too damn
to
old.
rights of Black people, to rights of women. Shout out to her for being a Greek. Shout out to her for many, 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 many things. I
I got
can't wait to see what she does next. I can't wait for her to, for everything for her to continue her work because she got more work to do. So you go, girl. Shout out to you.
I got a question though, Shot. If Jasmine Crockett ran, do you think the public would have responded to her the same way they responded to Kamala Harris?
Absolutely not. Americans public will never vote for Jasmine. Like that's just plain and simple.
I disagree.
Now, Jasmine Crawford,
Hold on, wait though. The way
mhm,
she handled somebody alone,
but that means nothing.
it does
Like,
mean something in this day and
don't,
age. In this day and
don't.
age, I'm trying to tell you. I be trying to tell y'all things because I'm in certain rooms, and I'm telling you, she will have more of a stance in a presidential race than Kamala Harris would. Than
No,
Kamala Harris would. And
America is.
this whole thing about she's the most qualified. Come on, bro. We haven't had a good president since Barack Obama left office. Let's be real.
It's
We
not
haven't
about
had
that. It's
we
about
haven't
her
had a
being
good leader
qualified
of
on
this
paper.
country.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that she's the best or she did. No, she's more qualified on paper. That's all I'm saying.
She's worked in every branch. I agree. She worked in every branch. I think she should have stayed in the attorney general lane. That's just my personal
Well,
uh
let me
take on
answer
that.
your first question. So Jasmine Crawford, intelligent Black woman, she is gonna go very far. But honestly and truly, like I find it hard to believe that a America would even elect a person that's 100% Black. Like, if we want to be technical, our former president is biracial. Like, and so is Kamala Harris. So is Kamala Harris. So I highly doubt maybe in another 20 to 30 years we might be open to electing a fully black person, but Jasmine Crawford is for one is not old enough. That's one thing.
But that's the problem.
Number two, Jasmine Crawford, she is an example of everything that America hates, which is a strong, independent, educated black woman. And number three, she ideally, yes, she can change what it looks like to be a politician, and we are hoping that, and she will change that. But
She
she
already
does not
has.
even look like a politician. She don't even look like a politician,
That's
which
my point. She's
it
already
should
changed.
be right. But it's like uh, America is never. There will never be a black woman that looks like Jasmine Crawford at the head of the seat. Not right now. Like I said, maybe in 20, 30 years, when Jasmine Crawford is probably in her 60s. Yeah, but at this day and age, America wouldn't even elect a biracial black woman. A biracial black woman that has 30 plus years of hard work in this country. They wouldn't even elect her.
She's also married to a
Kamala
white man
Harris.
too. Let's not forget that.
Well, let's start here. She's only been with this white man for a decade. She
Okay.
was with a black man before that. This is a new relationship for her. So her man or white man has nothing to do with the fact that she has been doing this for a long time. She was Obama's point of contact for California
We know that
for
already.
many
We
years.
know that. We're not
So I mean,
discrediting
it
it.
doesn't hurt dating a white. Her marriage to a white man does not equate the fact that this woman is a true patriot and she spent 30 plus years dedicated to the United States of America. And
But the
yes, she
thing
did not
is,
get her payoff like she should have this time around. But like I said, it's not over with.
if
And my
Obama
whole
had,
discussion had nothing to do with Kamala, so I'm gonna end it at that. I wasn't
well,
even talking about
I'm
her.
still gonna say my comment. I don't care about
No,
that.
go ahead.
If Obama had a white wife, he would not have been received by the black community or black people the way he would. That's a fact. Black men are highly
I disagree with
crucified.
that.
Black men are highly crucified and scrutinized when they get success and they go, what's they? Oh, he gonna go get a white woman. That's what they say all the time. So we had a black woman that's quote unquote black woman, which she really ain't black, but we ain't gonna get into that. A minority who had a white counterpart who was running for the highest seat, one of the highest seats in our federal republic. And she did not have a black man with her. She had a white man. We love Fannie Willis. Yeah, we love her. We don't see Fannie Willis we see Fannie Willis with her people. We see Fannie with her people. I didn't see Kamala with her people. I don't care how much Greek, how much stepping, how much you had whatever. She did not have her people as a significant other. She had somebody else. With black men are highly judged by. And you got to take into account today because I heard you named the vote for black men who gave the vote. You think they weren't paying attention to that? See,
Well,
all these optics,
72%,
all that,
72% disagreed. So
all that is optics though. That 72% didn't help win. See, all that is optics. See,
not yet, not yet.
okay.
So let me just say this for those of us that understand race and race, culture, and all those things, right? So being African American is not actually African American is not actually a race, right? African American was something that we adapted after slavery, after the civil rights movement, after Jim Crow. That's something that we as Black people decide to label ourselves, and the government as well, decide to label ourselves to give us a label because we did not have a label in this country. Even though we had culture in this country, we did not have a label. So, us free Negroes, our children, we adapted. I'm Black and I'm proud. I'm African American. After all of that happened, right? So thinking at this. So let's take this for example. Let's take this guy named Mo, right? Mo is from Nigeria. Both his parents were born in Nigeria. They came to America, went to college in America, got married in America. And they ended up having Mo and his siblings, right? Mo was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Is Mo not African American? Is Mo not African American?
No.
See, if we go, If we're gonna leave with facts, just because Mo's parents are from Nigeria, Mo was born on American soil. He was born into black culture. He checks off on the box as Mo was African American. Is he Nigerian descent? Yes, he is. But Mo, racially, Mo is African American. And that same thing suits for Kamala Harris. Yes, Kamala Harris' mother is East Asian. Yes, her father is Jamaican. But where was Kamala Harris born in? Oakland, California. Her parents coming to America, meeting each other, getting married, having children. Does that not equate their children being African American? Since African American is technically not a actual race. That is a pronoun like like she, her, him, them. That's a pronoun we adapted. That's not who actually we are. If we gonna be technical, we would be African, we would be American African. If we want to be technical, if we gonna go essential, as you know, our essential lineage, we will be American African. It's just so sad that African American people, which I'm probably African, we have allowed the white man Christianity. We have allowed the white man's rhetoric. We have allowed years and years of oppression to literally get us to this point. And it's sad. If you are a if you are a black man and you're from the Bahamas and you come to America and you marry a black woman that's from Trinidad and you have a child, your child is African American. I'm done. Next topic.
Now, there's a couple things I'm gonna get onto right now. One about the African American. We are called African American because we do not know our lineage. We are called African American because we do not know where we come from. And majority of people in America do not know where their ancestor background is from. Thank God for myself and my father and my mother and my aunties and my uncles and all them that did that for my mom, my grandma. But we have a family tree about where we from and how we was came. And I went and took my little DNA swab and I found that I'm Nigerian and all that stuff. So now I can put on my stuff. Hey, Nigerian, Liberian. I ain't African American no more. I know where my background's from. That is why we're called African Americans. We do not know our background, sadly, because we were stolen, we were taken and brought here and raped and everything else. So we're so mixed like mutts that we don't know what the hell we is. But if you go get your backgrounds and your stuff, you can call yourself what you're supposed to be because now you know who you truly are. Secondly, I do agree with Shy a little bit more on the presidential stuff about the women. It wasn't more so oh, this is a race for women. No, it was a race for a whole bunch of different things, but a lot of things that went into that race was going to be affecting a lot more women. So from a woman's aspect, I see how she can say that this is what she feels she had to vote for. She understood what this was because she knew the misogynistic man was coming after their rights again. They've already taken them the first time. So what they're gonna do this time? And that's where it differs between me and you, Lance, because we're looking at it as a money standpoint. How can I get to this situation like this? I'm trying to be like Trump and be like the other people to make this money. So I know what they're talking about because Trump's been the one person that will tell you, I was with those people making those markets and moves. That's why I got a graveyard with my wife on so I can have my golf cars for free. But as a woman, I understand absolutely what she's talking about because they are taking your rights away. We ain't got our rights taken away yet, but as a black man, our rights is on the verge. We ain't too far away from the Hispanic brothers, the Mexican brothers, the Nigerian, everybody that's over here right now. We ain't too far behind.
Good.
We already seen the text messages come out talking about get ready to go back to the slave plantation. You got me, excuse me, you got me in that plantation. What I look like? Say nah. My grandma, my grandma, my great uncle, and them didn't stay slave that long, so I don't have to come back and do this shit again. Hell no. Now we used to make that joke we'll go do for $3.50 an hour, but if you ain't paying me $3.50 an hour, I ain't going out there. But we all on the same verge. So I get where you have to come look at the situation. She's trying to say we have to come to our senses of knowing that we're fighting a greater evil at this point that could detriment our communities where we're not ready to see them go. Um, we're talking about cops having legal abilities to kill you now, where they don't have to go to no court and stuff like that. They just walk scot free. Shit, we already see us dying every day now. Now you mean to tell me we can die every day some more and not have to even go to court no more? He just gonna walk away scot free? That's not what we want. That's not what we want in our community. We already don't trust the police. Now you telling me they can come over here and kill my ass for free with no case, no nothing, scot free? That's gonna start a war. And sadly thing about it is the next civil war might be here before we fucking know it. If we don't get our stuff together. That's why I always encourage my brothers and sisters to go enjoy their Second Amendment right while you still got it. Because when they start taking them things off the table, you're gonna be real sad when the counterpart got 50 caliber rifles, bazookas, grenades, AR-15s, all that stuff staring down the barrel at you, and you over here looking with a pistol in a shotgun. You gotta have your stuff. It's getting real now.
Cook.
Getting
This
real.
this is what I say, and Shy and I know Shy disagrees with me, but I keep saying the president is a figure. The Senate, Supreme Court, the House. That's who makes real decisions. That's who does policy reform.
You're
All
absolutely
these
correct.
things you're talking about, that's who
We
is
know all of
going to.
that. We don't
Okay,
dis-
then.
we know that. That is not the point.
Hold on.
No.
Let me get to the point. You're not letting me get to it. Because what I'm trying to tell you is, y'all was so focused on Kamala and Trump. I wasn't. I was focused on them other seats.
We wasn't either.
Well, the thing, what I'm trying to get you to understand, it don't matter if Kamala was in there or Trump. If the House and the Senate is red, whatever's gonna go through is gonna go through. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
We know
Because
that. We all
okay,
know
then.
that. That ain't the point.
So, well, it needs to be the point because people don't pay attention to that. We may pay attention to that. Common sense ain't common. We may pay attention to it, but guess what? The general public don't. We still got Abbott wheelchairing around here, and he's a strong Trump supporter. He got buoys in in the damn Gulf down there, cutting up children, cutting up people, putting buoys. That's who we got in office in Texas. In Florida, they got Santos. He at war with Disney. Disney makes money for the country. You going to war with somebody who make money for our country? Now Disney is threatening to go into another country. Like I keep saying, I get it. Women's rights are in shambles. Hell, human rights, period, are in shambles. I just told y'all they have Supreme Court making decisions around scientific cases and don't have scientific case background. And they won't allow someone to come in that's a subject matter expert to counsel them. Because at the end of the day, due to the Constitution of the Supreme Court, they have the final say. That's what it says. See, I'm getting to a deeper point that we got to pay attention to because we being ignorant to the fact of we want to be race. See, we got to look at the spiritual context that God has allowed this to happen again for what reason? He allowed it to happen once. He allowed Trump to be in the office one time, and we had what we have happened then? A pandemic. Millions of people died. So he's in office again. So what's gonna happen this time?
Well,
I really just hope we'll just stop being so ignorant to this white Christian ideology.
Man, it don't, man, that ideology, God is real. It don't have to be Yahweh, Yeshua, all those terms are real. Putin is hiding the damn original content from back then, and he exposed a little bit of it to let you know that it's real. It don't have to be Christianity, it don't have to be Judaism, it don't have to be Muslim, but we know God is an actual entity. It's something that's real. In these old families, this is the hierarchy of the world. It goes to old 1,000-year-old families. Then it goes to popes and the synagogues and the church. Then it goes Vanguard and BlackRock, who control the money. Then it goes entertainment. Then it goes government. Then it goes everybody else. That's the actual hierarchy of our world platform. We have 100-year-old thousand families. I hope y'all know that have in-depth understanding on things that we can't even comprehend because it's been passed down from generation to generation. Then you have the vanguards and the popes, like I just said. Putin has those artifacts. that has some of that in the information that those 100,000 year old
We
families
know that.
already know. Okay, then. So if you know that already, why aren't we making the actual change to make something happen?
This
Hell,
not the
having
topic.
a woman in president office ain't gonna do.
That ain't
That's
the
true.
point. That's not.
The people need to come together, and America is a federal republic. The people control the government. When will we get that? We haven't got that yet.
We know that.
Let me get this one, Shy. The reason we know that, but a lot of people still don't know that the president ain't voted on. I mean, the president is not elected by popular vote. It is elected by the electoral vote. So it comes down to the people that you vote into office during the small votes that nobody goes to in October, April, March, whatever those days are sometimes. Those votes you do there for your city councilmen, your senators, your mayors, those votes is what makes what you get through come through. So when you vote red for your mayor and that mayor gets that Senate, that red Senate seat and all that stuff, those votes is what makes things come through. And the sad part about it is we're losing that because they're getting rid of the Department of Education with Trump. So a lot more things are about to be getting lost. We already was losing some of the slavery and all the history in some of these states. Now that with the Department of Education about to get defunded some money, we're about to lose a lot more than what we think. I feel sorry for these teachers because they work hard to teach some of these things to these students. Now they're gonna get probably less, maybe. I don't know. I'm not all the way sure what's gonna happen with that, but I do know with a defunding, something they're gonna add up to that. Money getting lost somewhere.
But see that it's the rural communities that got Trump in.
It'll always
Pay
be the
attention.
rural community because
Pay
the
attention.
community is what controls the world. I mean,
Exactly.
there's
And you
more
know,
rural than there's cities.
and what does rural communities lack?
I know. I was from it. Black people.
But black people,
Education.
education, access to equitable sustainability to life.
I won't say that.
Yes.
I won't say that. Now, I had a decent education from Mineral Wells, Texas. Yes, I'm from the country, 3, 4 stoplights and you out there. But you can have a decent education. It just depends on what you're around. Like I grew up being a token in my school. There's
Yeah.
about 8 black people in my school, in my senior class, when it's 300 people in a class or 400 people in the class, however many people was in our class back then. But
See, but when I say education, I'm not talking about traditional education.
we was talking about it.
See, I'm thinking about preventative education, knowing about your resources, knowing about the education about policy, knowing the education about what surrounds you, knowing the education about what access you have to accessible care, the sustainability to life. I'm talking preventative education, which out on preventative education. It's not talking about education 2 + 2 = 4 or what's the standard equation. It's about the surroundings of the environment which are around you. Are you educated on how to best use these to have sustainable life? Rural communities normally don't have that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Cities don't really have that.
Cities have it, but it's not in a database or a hub where where individuals know about it. So let me be for example.
The public school have it?
I'm saying this communities. I'm not saying public school. So I'm gonna bring up. I know down in Tarrant County they have a couple coalitions. These coalitions' jobs are to make databases and hubs to allow citizens in that particular county access, like 211, access to know what surrounds them that can best equip them to assist them in life. That's preventative education. Do I know how to effectively use this? That's preventative education. I mean, it seems very simplistic, right? Because it is, but that is a conduit of preventative education, and a lot of rural communities don't know that. And so, if I have a Trump individual who like Trump, or I have a Abbott, a Ted Cruz, what's the other one over there in Florida? What's the not the governor, but the House representative? I forgot his name. Start with a D though. If I got him, all they talk about
DeSantis.
is not DeSantis. It's another one. Not because he the governor. It's another one. Fact check me real quick because I can't remember his name. I don't feel like looking it up, but it's another one. But all they talk about is how they're gonna give things back to the people. We're gonna let you make decisions. We doing this for you. most rural communities operate off hard work like factories, crops, contract work, which means they need their taxes to be somewhat in a nice ratio. And even Hispanics benefit off it. A lot of Hispanics do contract work, which means I need my taxes to not hit me so hard. That's what they harp on. So that's how rural communities continue to keep states red. Because if you pay attention, the major cities in Texas were blue. The major cities in other states that were red were blue. It was the rural communities because they don't have access to sustainable preventive education. I mean, it's in dismantling the Department of Education, y'all just don't understand. Student loans have the Department of Education has sold so many people student loans to private equity groups. Look it up. A lot of people, student loans have been sold to private
I
equity
think
groups.
I think you keep saying we don't understand, but it's like you are okay. You have these facts and these things that you research, but it's in generally it's still your opinion though. It's not that we. It's not well. At least for me, it's not that I don't understand. Is that that wasn't my even my point. Like none of this was this whole conversation went down a rabbit hole. None of this was even my point of anything. So it's like you're given all of these facts and these things, which is cool, but that wasn't the point.
Well, our goal is to drop gems, so we need to get these facts, so we can drop gems on these people who listen to the podcast because they need to understand this. If we want to have change, because your whole thing was about change, honestly, because you want women to be more supported, women to be more advocated for, women to be viewed as
Well,
something
I don't
that's a
I
position of
wasn't
power. That's change.
I didn't suggest anything. I was simply my whole correspondence was to simply thank those who stood by us. That was it. I wasn't suggesting anything. I never said we should have voted for Kamala or Trump or whatever. I never said any of that.
I
I
know
just
you didn't say
simply
that,
okay then. Well, I didn't say any of this.
but
My whole point was to just thank those who stood by us. That was it. That was it. Nothing else.
I get what you're saying. You're saying that you said thank you, and I'm not saying that you said that we didn't vote for her. This and that. I'm saying if someone was the peel the onion on your conversation or on your topic, the foundational pillar would be you want to thank them for trying to assist with change. There's never been a female president, white or black, or any race. There's never been none. That's change. That's a big change at that. So having anybody support a female running presidential candidate is change. And to have change, these facts need to be understood because we make decisions, but you can't make an informed decision if you don't have all the facts. That's just a fact.
Oh, but I don't know. But go ahead and
Nah, it's cool. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I mean, it's the whole point of having a conversation. I mean, ain't nobody writing this. It's
I
all it's
mean,
platonic conversation. But I'm just saying, if you want to have change, you need to understand that all of the facts and the factors and the key indicators that go with change. And you need to know these things. I know them. That's why I ain't vote for Democrat or Republican. Because neither one of them ain't about nothing.
I really
Yeah.
want to say something about the independent party so bad.
I didn't vote for the independent party.
I mean, I feel like if you got something to say, speak on it. You might have some topic
So
that.
so so I voted for Dr. Cornell West. I said. And if you know about it, and let me tell you something. Let me tell everybody who voted because they don't tell you this, and I know this. You can do a limited vote. I don't live in Tarrant County, but I still have my domain or my registration is still in Tarrant County. So at certain polls, they didn't want to let me vote, but I knew if I went to the administrative office in whatever county that was, I could do a limited vote. I couldn't vote locally, but I could vote for my state and for my national government, which is what I did. And also, if they don't give you a ballot that has, because they'll do this, because they did this to me. They only gave me a ballot with Kamala and Trump. And I said, I don't want this one. I want the one where I can vote for all presidential candidates. Oh, yes, sir. And he went and gave it to me. They don't tell you that as well. See, that's what I'm saying. Preventive education. I know these things because I'm in certain rooms with certain people that have political seats. So I know some of these things. So I've been educated on it.
Or you can Google those things as well.
You can, but some people don't have don't even know that to Google that. I mean, that's a fact. Some people don't know to Google that. I was just blessed enough to know that there's some people that I have in my circle that said, no, I was like, man, and I just know that. So, and I knew that the last time I voted.
Well, I just want to add to that. Well, not so much as that. I just wish that these private parties like Jill, like Dr. Cornell, it was about three other people on there too. I forgot their names, but I didn't see Cornell or the other guy on. Oh, the Kennedy, him as well. I didn't. They was not on my ballot. I live in Fort Bend County. But just to say, I just wish that I understand we all have the right. I get all of that, but I just wish some of these private parties would stop being so selfish, especially in elections like these, because you know, basically you had 100,000. Was it 100,000 or it was something like that? You had all these votes that were 100% wasted. 100% wasted campaign money, wasted votes, wasted gas money going to the polls to vote for these people that were never going to win at all, ever. So it's like I wish some of these people, even Dr. Cornel West, like I wish he wouldn't, understand the policies and things like that, but maybe get more involved in a political party and go from there. Like, I think it's a selfish decision to use your influence to rally these people behind you, knowing that you're not going to win and knowing that that takes away from another candidate winning, takes away from Kamala Harris winning. Same thing with Jill Stein. I understand she has kept it, she has kept the course, she has kept running. We get it. But Jill ain't gonna never win. So why not just go ahead and join a party that can win, and go from there, like build up your political career that way instead of taking away all these people, these votes that could have went somewhere else. So I think it's just very selfish on their part to do that, knowing that they're not gonna win.
That's that's interesting. Zach, what you got to say about that? That's very interesting.
I feel like they should keep running like that. I mean, they didn't join the party because they feel like their alignment wasn't aligned. They felt like whatever they were going to with the Republic Party or the Republican Party didn't match what they wanted to do with their presidency, and it's probably some things they had to go through to get into presidency that they probably didn't want to sacrifice to do. I mean, we know just from Hollywood that there's things you got to do to get through this dough. So there's some things you probably have to do to get through that dough to be Republican or Democrat. I'm not gonna say it is. I'm not gonna say it's not. But I'm just throwing it against the wall. If it stick, hey, it stick. But I don't. I don't know, Sha. I feel like if you don't align, that's like saying if you go to a job, do you stay at that job when there's another job over there or someone that aligns with you better? That's probably not a good topic to go on. Never mind. I don't know.
Sha, I get what you're
I
saying
get it.
about
I
that.
mean, my beliefs do not reflect Democrats all like that or Kamala Harris. Like I have a lot of friends that grew up in the era with her being in office in their cities. I have a lot of friends that's from the California, that's from San Francisco, Oakland, and they do not like her. And I understand why they don't like her. But I mean, I voted for her because she was the best candidate. And let me just add this: I ain't got nothing against Cornel West. I don't have nothing against him. But America ain't electing no big mouth, big ass mouth country ass, period. Ain't happening.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket. You out of pocket, man.
Gotta
look,
clutch my pearls on that one. What?
yeah, man, look, Cornel West. So when the presidency candidacy started, I think about a year or so ago, Cornel West announced he was going to run. Dr. Cornel West announced he was running. I looked at every candidate who was going to run, and then I started paying attention to the Senate seats and those House seats as well too. But he did a couple. He did some interviews. Now he had a press run, but the media didn't publicize it. And I want to make this point. He had this money put into his campaign. Well, I shouldn't say that. He had a lot of money put in his campaign, just like Kamala, just like Trump. Media outlets also have a lot of say in who they publicize, in who they allow to meet the American citizens to see. Now that Jill woman, she yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that shot. 100%. She has fought the good fight. She has fought it. She need to go ahead and lay it down. But other candidates that are qualified and that have some of this, because he had some good points. He had good points on policy. He had good on women's rights. He had really good points on women's rights. Uh, and he had really good points on border control. And he also had some good points on economics that he discussed. And when if you go look and research some of the things that uh, I would say Barack did, former President Barack Obama, who still got it, who still got the gift of gab. I mean, he got it. That man got it. He was doing some of the things research based that Dr. Cornel West was discussing. So that's why I with Dr. Cornel West, because he aligned with some things I would like to see happen for our country. That's what I want to see happen. It wasn't because nothing else. I wasn't trying to rebel or nothing. I just informed myself on all the candidates, and he was the one that best aligned with some views that I would like to see happen for our country. So, I mean, I work directly with low income, underserved communities every day, and I'm in boardrooms. I get to hear the executives, the chief executive officer, the chief finance officer, the vice president, the president of operations, the president of finance. I get to hear them on a daily basis in multiple organizations that represent health entities in our country. And I wish some people could hear some of the things I hear because you would be appalled. And some of these fools are Democrats, some of these fools are Republicans. And they just say, I really feel bad for our country in the direction it's headed. That's why I keep saying we are in trouble. I keep saying it. And I don't know how to say it without saying it, and then and I can't. But it is what it is. But I get what you're saying. But in order for our country to have real change, we education, not from a school-based concept, but from a preventative paradigm has to take place. Then we can see change. And I know you disagree with me when I say if we could just get one person, just get one person, and that's not one of those Democrat or Republican seats in the U.S. Senate or in the House, then you're gonna see some shape.
I don't disagree with that. I disagree with you who you voted for. That's what I disagree about. I don't disagree about any of the things that you said.
But do you even know any of
I
his
don't
policies
disagree
though?
with that. Huh?
But
But
do you
we
even know any
do.
of do you even know
That's
any of
what we
his
said.
policies?
I do. I know who this man is. I've
No,
listened to his conversation.
I'm no,
I've
I'm
been
saying
to
yeah,
his website. I've
yeah,
read things.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know who he is. I mean, he has been doing the work for many
Yes,
decades,
yes.
but he wasn't gonna win. That's just the facts of it.
I just I just wish I just wish we had our main candidates have the same body of work. When you want to talk about qualified, have the same body of work he's done that they will have, then we have a different conversation because he's done the work. When I say done the work, he's far beyond the subject matter expert when it comes to political communication.
Yeah, good man, nice gowns. But it just wasn't gonna win. Like that's just the meat and potatoes of it. Like, unfortunately, it's unfortunate that he wouldn't win. I mean, I wish we didn't have electoral college or any of these things in place. That's one thing they should change. But I mean, he just wasn't gonna win. Like, he wasn't gonna win. So I just felt like he should have backed the black woman, and your hotel men that follow behind you, they would have backed her too. Because I mean, no offense, but a lot of black men that follow Umar and Cornell and all these people, y'all like some sheeps. So he would have told y'all, we gonna vote for the Kamala. We gonna back her. Y'all would have done so.
I still
So
want to vote for her. I still want to vote for We Did It Joe. Because she was a part of We Did It Joe, my administration. Still wouldn't have. Still wouldn't have.
well, when I get to office in Texas, when I become a city councilwoman in Houston, and
You got my vote.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start off
I'm gonna get a
working on
fake
the
address and
campaign.
everything.
I'm gonna start off on it. I'm gonna start out working on the. I'm moving the district. I ain't gonna tell you what district I'm moving to, but I'm moving to the district so and so. I'm gonna start off with working with one of my relatives, and I'm gonna go from there. I'm gonna build a lot. Start attending a lot of these events. I'm going to an Afro Tech event tomorrow. I'm gonna start building my connections, and when it's time for me to get on there on the pulpit and talk my feminist rhetoric, and women out there, you listening? You get your sledgehammers, cause we chopping off their heads, the big one and the small one.
She going,
Man,
you going to ham shot.
Get your bats. We busting heads. All
Now,
right, y'all.
I laugh. We appreciate you guys for this segment. We kind of went over time. We was only supposed to do about 20 minutes, man. We really got to that last to Shy's topic. We went really over our time. Really enjoyed it. Great conversation. Please leave comments. Don't forget to like our Instagram account, Gemstone Podcast. I think it's our Instagram account. You guys have been sending DMs to myself.
Hi guys, you can find me on Instagram at Shy Marie. That's CHYMARIE underscore underscore. You'll also find my businesses linked in my bio. So yeah, come follow me. And if you're a feminist like me, follow your girl. Let's discuss. Let's rally. Let's have a meeting in at midnight when the moon is high. I'm just like,
wild as hell right now.
She on
You
one.
can follow your boy. My Instagram tag name is going to be ZDURST25. Once again, that's ZDURST25. Come holler at me, come talk to me. I'm gonna give you the best I can, advice I can sometimes, and I'm gonna bring it to the group, and we're gonna try to bring you on the podcast sometimes. We might even start reaching out to you on a Zoom call so you can get to share us your story live.
Please do. I would love that. Just don't turn your camera on. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Like and follow. Adios.